Welcome back, parents. You're listening to DIY Behavior.
Thanks for checking it out. Now, enjoy this episode. So it's the first day of daycare, and it's been nothing but stress and a high level of anxiousness leading up until this point. This would be your first time having someone else take care of your child, and the thought of this is nothing short of miserable. This episode is about how to get rid of that anxiety while also giving daycare a chance. So we understand why the first day of daycare is aversive to us. As parents, we don't want anything bad to happen to our child, and we know that no one will take care of our child the way that we will. Now, that is true, but there are people out there who are certified and trained and experts who would do an amazing job taking care of your child while also teaching them some important life skills along the way. Now, even though you may be aware of this, your fear of what may happen gets in the way of you giving daycare a shot. So your fear does. So that's what we need to tackle. How do you decrease or minimize your fear so you can give daycare a chance? Have you ever heard the term desensitization? Desensitization is a teaching method that slowly exposes the aversive situation and starts out at a very manageable level and then gradually increases the aversive situation until it's at a natural point. And I know that's very technical, but to make it relative and to make it understandable, essentially desensitization takes that thing that you're most afraid of, and even though you know that we need to tackle it, it exposes you to it, but at very manageable steps, right? So let's say someone who was afraid of the vacuum, desensitization that basically means it's almost like exposure therapy. It's okay, we're going to expose you to the vacuum by just having it out, maybe 20 feet from you. We're not even going to plug it in. Just have it out to sort of show you that it's not a big deal. And then once you get comfortable with just it being out, then we're going to maybe bring it a little closer. Get close to it, get comfortable with it at 15 feet, get comfortable with it at 10 feet. Then maybe we want to plug it in, get comfortable with hearing the vacuum for 5 seconds until it's at a more natural state to where you don't mind it if it's out and the vacuum is being used for 2-3 minutes. So essentially, we're going to take that same concept and apply it to daycare. I'm not going to really get into the gist of desensitization, but I highly encourage you to do some sort of research on it. But I will discuss it as it pertains to you getting prepared for your first day of daycare. Now, if you are on maternity leave, then I highly suggest starting daycare at least 2 days before the first day of daycare. A week would be ideal because it would give you a full week to be exposed to being without your child, while you are able to stop what you're doing and go pick up your child if you need be. But 2 days is shown to be effective as well. So my recommendation would be to start with just 1 hour, right? The reason why, as a parent, you may not look forward to that first day and it's aversive is because you don't want to be without your child. And being without your child is actually the aversive thing in this situation. So if you think about it, it's not your child being away from you. And a lot of times the child is just fine. It's the parent who don't want to be without the child. We've all been through it. So I say all that to say, most daycares should allow you to do this as well. They should be open to you, for one, because you're a future client, future money. So they may, look forward to the accommodations and say like, yeah, sure, we don't mind you coming in a week early or 2 days prior. But if not, then that would be something to look into. Maybe finding a daycare who is able to do that, right? So starting out with just 1 hour would be perfect. My recommendation is drop your kid off for 1 hour, and then maybe go run errands, go to Walmart, go to Target, go wash your car, just stay out, try to stay busy, because you're being exposed right now to your fear. You're without your child. However, for 1 hour, it's more manageable. When the hour's up, go back and pick up your kid, go home. And do this, if you're starting off with a week, do this for the first day or two, right? And then bump it up to 1.5 hours or 2 hours, right? What you'll find yourself as the parent is being more comfortable with the drop off, being more comfortable being away from your kid. You're getting in the routine, and also your child is building a relationship with familiar staff, and you are too. You're getting the gist of how daycare works. Now, you do this for a week. By the time it's time for you to go into work, you still may have that anxiousness, but it is at a much more manageable and lower level than if you were never done it the first place. 2 days can do this as well. Maybe on a Thursday, drop your kid off in 1 hour, the next day 2 or 3 hours, and then when it's time to go back into work, it'll be much more manageable than if you would have never done it at all. Right? Think about it. A lot of parents who are not able to do this, so they're going to work, they're dropping their kid off for maybe 7-8 hours, and it's the worst time at work without your child. So what this does is it exposes you to what you fear the most, which is being without your kid, but in manageable steps. That way your fear is desensitized, and it's being lowered to just a much more manageable level. So give it a try. It's very effective. And then let me know what you think. All right, that's my time. The number one question to ask yourself when it comes to your kids' behavior is, how can I set them up for success? Until next time, parents.